And it's not just the true believer Condoleezza Rice, but it's other governments. Over the last 20 years, the United States government has pursued policies, both Democratic policies and Republican policies, in a direction that the rest of the world has to suffer from.
Puck, who is a local Oakland resident, made these observations during the rally.
I think it's important to be out here today, but I think it's more important to be actively fighting for freedom and liberation in our daily lives, because we can protest as much as we want, and we can have whatever president in office as we want, but it doesn't really matter. What we need is autonomy and self-determination in our communities.
Patricia Chase was one of the speakers at the rally. She is from the California Coalition for Women Prisoners, a group that works to raise public consciousness around the inhumane conditions faced by women prisoners and advocate for positive change.
Now it's time for take action. It's time for revolution here, inside, and learn how people are doing struggles around the world, how Palestinians are struggling for their own freedom, how Cuban revolution are struggling against the imperio. It's time for learn how people is oppressing around the world for make their own revolution here for people of color, for white people, for women, for children, for everybody here in this country.
Yukon Hannibal from the Berkeley Homeless Union came here today with his group to voice his opposition to the war at home. He expressed his frustration at the U.S. administration's policy of spending more money on war as they cut and privatize domestic programs left and right.
In the land of trillionaires, where all this money is being spent on all this war material, you actually have people literally dying on the streets of San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland, New York, Chicago, and these warmongers, these hate mongers who go about the business of creating destruction for other people of the world have no concept or no concern at all for these people, So pretty much this is why we're out here to show solidarity.
For Full Circle and KPFA, this is Lawton Chen reporting from San Francisco.
A world run by a handful of greedy bankers and CEOs who nobody elected can't possibly last.
I'm going to tell you a number of things, but you really only have to remember two words. Government's lie. Government's lie. I mean, not just the American government. Governments in general lie.
Ay Dios, ¿qué es lo que le pasa al jefe en comando? Señor, ¿será que su cerebro no está funcionando? ¿Será que no quiere pensar en lo que pudiera pasar si la mayoría en la nación empieza a gritar revolución? Señor presidente, lo que traes en la mente es muy diferente de lo que piensa tu gente. ¿Quiénes son tu gente? Señor presidente, son los que quieren creerte y verte fuerte triunfar.
We're organizing against what we term genocide. Thousands of our young men are dying. We can stop that. Keep our families together. That's the first and most obvious form of genocide.
No hay paz, con una palabra nos manda la guerra. Mientras tus constituyentes matan a la tierra y nadie quiere aceptar lo que es su responsabilidad. Prefieren no darle la razón a los que gritan revolución. Señor presidente, lo que traes en la mente es muy diferente de lo que piensa tu gente. ¿Quiénes son tu gente? Señor presidente, son los que quieren creerte y verte fuerte triunfar en nombre de la verdad. Piénsalo bien. señor presidente, lo que traes en la mente es muy diferente de lo que piensa tu gente. ¿Quiénes son tu gente? Oye, señor presidente, son los que quieren creerte y verte fuerte triunfar. ¡Uy! ¡Uy!
Del movimiento chicano.
Brown kids. The American people. The poor.
Asian, African, Zapatistas.
Think for yourself.
¿Será que no quieres pensar en lo que pudiera pasar si la mayoría en la nación empieza a gritar revolución? Señor presidente, lo que traes en la mente es muy diferente de lo que piensa tu gente. ¿Quiénes son tu gente? Señor presidente, son los que quieren creerte y verte fuerte triunfar en nombre de la verdad.
For the last 2 years, Full Circle has invited numerous bands and spoken word artists to come through our studios and bless us with their music. Last year, the local Latin funk group Omaya joined us with host Amelia Gonzalez and Double O. Performers include Destiny Wolf on vocals, with MC Rico Pabon, Jorge Martinez on guitar and vocals, Bill Artola on keyboards and accordion, Isaac Pena on percussion, Quincy Griffin on sax, Steve Hogan on bass, Valentino on drums, and Luna on conga. Here now, the many members of Omaya bring us their music and words.
A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, me parece que eres un mentiroso. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, mentiroso.
Yo, they got us twisted in this backward system where it seems the end justifies the mean. Does the American dream mean material thing? Conquest and crusade, creation of colonies, and human slavery is still a current issue. Diamond mines, clothing line, Boko and tennis shoes. No noise on the news for that, but every station all day they bomb in Iraq. All out attack, the whole world react. Hit the street to stop they military act. No, killing the children, a bombing a building, a pillaging of villages of religious civilians by the millions. And millions spent every day, the USA forcing their futures decay. Instead of educating the youth, they're making them true to spill blood for the thugs who took office by who what?
A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, me parece que eres un mentiroso. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, mentiroso. Abrí los ojos, fíjate de lo que me entero. Dirás que son mentiras, sin embargo es verdadero. Que estando a solas, te juntas con un montón de bueyes, pasando horas, haciendo y deshaciendo leyes. Todo a beneficio de intereses materiales, ignorando el sacrificio de elementos esenciales a la vida. Salud y libertad no das cabida, nos guías ciegamente a callejones sin salida. Pero el futuro que se está perjudicando no es el tuyo ni es el mío, es el nuestro. Aún sabiéndolo prosigues abusando, y por eso te detesto y me molesto. No estoy pa' esto, y estoy bien puesto, y si a eso llega a dar la vida estoy dispuesto. Porque aunque tengas de tu lado a la policía, no podrás con la insurgente rebeldía. Pues el pueblo de la vil hipocresía están cansados y tus días en la cima del poder están contados. Aunque intentes nuevamente controlarnos con violencia, esta lucha no es de fuerza militar, es de conciencia. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, me parece que eres un mentiroso. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, mentiroso. tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, me parece que eres un mentiroso. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, mentiroso. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, me parece que eres un mentiroso. A ver, lo que tú me cuentas es sospechoso. A ver, mentiroso.
Oh my God. Live and direct. KPFK. Turn it up.
Beso, quiero que me des un beso, que me siento bien travieso, quiero que tú me lo des. Beso, quiero que me des un beso, que me siento bien travieso, quiero que tú me lo des.
Respect for love is long past due. Those that don't feel this is real, step to the side, let all of my queens shine through. Y'all been pushing her back for so long, why your backs are so strong? Trying to reach too many of us men without daddies, cause he long gone. Know you spent so many nights at home, and it won't pass but you alone, and all the stars have heard the moans. Sun has seen and soon will draw the tears of sorrow. Some of the seeds of love today, and hope will manifest itself tomorrow. It will come back to you, for all the little things you do that go unnoticed, appreciated, underrated. Who could be a superhuman, but a woman raise a child upon her own? Go to school and work and still maintain a home, remain unknown to the eyes of the single man. Thinking your destiny to be with those of one single plan. Infiltrate your temple and bounce. Many young girls that they got sprung, many young girls that they got sprung, but a woman should not be the only.
Beso, quiero que me des un beso, que me siento bien travieso, quiero que tú me lo des. Beso, quiero que me des un beso, que me siento bien travieso, quiero que tú me lo des.
Back in your room, we kept the music grooving slow tunes. The smell of frankincense and myrrh and burn some herb too. One no candles that night, it was just a bright city light shining through the blinds just right. Illuminated your silhouette, the way that I tasted the back of your neck, so you could feel the heat of my breath. Small kisses with nipples and lips in the middle. Wandering fingers made you tremble just a little. Remember, temperature rose, we off each other clothes slow. I doubled everything exposed. Mango, so sweet and delicious for breakfast. I'm still licking my lips. It's in time, my strawberry surprise. Tears of joy in your eyes, so together we cry. You and I unify like the soul and mind. Perfect rhythm like the hands of time. So nasty. Respect. It's different. Oh my God.
Quiero que me des un beso, que me siento bien travieso, quiero que tú me lo des. Beso, quiero que me des un beso, que me siento bien travieso, quiero que tú me lo des.
Omaya singing some songs from their debut album, Omaya. Yay!
Un besito.
So I know that this is your debut CD, but all of you, it seems, you have a very impressive resumes, and I wanted to talk about what made you guys come together. I know a lot of you are locally here, but it sounds like you have had various experience. Some of you have written soundtracks for movies, and I wondered what made you come together.
Yeah, well, this is Quincy speaking. Originally, myself and Bill Artola, keyboard player, and then Hector also started kicking around the idea to put together a group that kind of incorporated all of the music that we really loved and the things that we were interested in.
Well, I feel really lucky that I'm here watching you guys have a good time. And, of course, it's contagious, right? So what happens first? Do the lyrics happen first, or does the music happen first?
The music, I would say. Yes, that would be yes and no. The music and the lyrics and different songs, I think, develop different. This is Rico speaking. For my experience with Omaya has been they bring me some music that's basically already done, and they see if it's something I want to get down with. I think Destiny is the same way, but like I say, different folks write songs for the groups. I think each individual has their own kind of creative way of doing their thing. So yeah, I think it's all of that.
Those first two songs are good examples, because the Mentiroso, the first track, was Hector Perez, who couldn't be here. That's a song where he wrote it, and it was pretty much a complete song. He brought it in, boom, good to go. And then Rico wrote a verse, Jorge wrote a verse. But then Beso, we really kicked around all kinds of incarnations of that.
I wanted to ask you about the fusion, because you've got a lot of elements. I mean, you got Beso that kind of is a romantica musica, and it's got a little reggae, and it's got a lot of fusion, and so does Mentiroso. How easy is it to have that received outside of the Bay Area? I don't know if you've guys gone out to the Bay Area, but I think the Bay Area is a really special place where that kind of is the norm. But outside of this area, have you had experience with that in terms of how people respond to your music?
I think, we have a fusion of music, but I think overall people can tell we're having a good time. And I think that that's pretty universal, luckily. Whether people go there intending to feel like that or not, that's usually how we end up feeling too. So in LA, that's the same kind of response we've gotten. But usually it's people feeling the good time. I think also it's about the kind of things that we're communicating, things that are relevant to today and to social situations, and then also just to people understanding themselves and humans around them. So, and just the world, having a good time. I think that's one of the things that really comes off when we get on stage and leave a stage.
Do you find yourself taking those risks on stage, even with your political messages? I mean, do you ever feel like, wow, we're going out on a limb, or is it just innate in what, you know what I mean? It just, does that ever come to your mind as an artist?
I think it's crossed my mind as a lyricist, and that's when I get extra excited. Whenever I feel like, ooh, this crowd might not exactly agree with what we're about to say, it makes me just want to really rock and, even make sure the music is low, and so they can hear that. Let's slow it down a little bit to make sure, because that's what it's about. It's like, I feel like if you're not going to stand on it with both feet, just get off. So, just jump off of it. So Maya's like that, so if we're going to do a song, if we're going to come out and say, yo, we feel this way, and we'll come out and we're going to do it all the time, 100%, no matter, if we get booked in Texas or, whatever, you're going to hear the same thing. You're going to hear we're on the radio, I can't say. I'm getting excited. You're going to hear the real deal all the time. So, yeah, so it crosses our mind, and like I say, that's what juices us a little bit, because folks we're not here giving medicine to people who don't need it. Sick people need the medicine, so that's why we're here,
We did have one person who bought the CD and said, are you guys talking about our president? She called up and asked for her money back.
Really?
On the CD, because she was so shocked that this was challenging her belief system or whatever.
And that's the way it is.
That's life. We like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the way we do it over here, too.
Yeah, right?
Close
hey,
enough.
if you got people scared, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's interesting that you say that because sometimes it's safe to stay in a place where it's the choir, kind of, you know, and I really admire that you guys go out of the Berkeley, the Oakland scene, because sometimes that could be a really safe place to stay, but the message needs to go out there, so props to you. So what are we going to hear next?
Well, whose song is this? They should intro this. Whose song is this?
This is song is Pablo Nuevo. It's one of the earlier songs that we brought in when we first were forming this group, and it's when it was composed. We were experimenting a lot with going through different styles within one piece. So you'll hear that in this. It goes through different sections. You'll hear different flavors of the song that kind of develop.
All right. We just heard Quincy, and you're listening to Oh Maya here on Full Circle 94.1 KPFA.
Abuelo said that there be days like this, and sometimes inside your mind they might seem endless. It's a stress, just a test. Don't forget that you blessed. Trust me, baby, life experience, put your faith to the test. He confessed many days of unrest, weight of the world on his chest. Would he? Should he take another breath? Question is very question. The answer was yes. Destined for success with no regrets and nothing less. See, things now prepare you for what's next. Arm your soul with divine ammo. Take another step in your own direction. More than just a reflection of what you see. Humanity's insanity could cause a blurry reality. Hard to find yourself in a flurry. Many of us end up in front of a jury just trying to live. Cause the definition they give, label my whole family a bunch of crazy kids. Whoa.
Living in the cloudy sky.
Right.
Felt so high, I'm afraid of my still turn on the light. I'm on call, sailing, felt so
Se llama Pablo Nuevo, el muchacho del cielo. Se llama Pablo Nuevo, el muchacho del cielo.
Pablito se fue a la luna y él no quiso regresar. Su alma tan brillante llegó en el viento, sus alas
Llegó, 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 con tanta historia, con tanto cuento. Llegó, llegó.
You're listening to Full Circle on KPFA 94.1 FM. I'm William, here with Rain. Omaya is performing at the Independent on Saturday night, beginning at 9 p.m. at 628 Divisadero in San Francisco. For more information, log on to Omaya's website, www.o-maya.com.
Coming up next, we feature indie Latin rock and rollers, Carmalize. Carmalize blends Latin rhythms with rock, political lyrics, and tasty morsels for the ears. Hosts Jacob Simas and Victoria Z talked with Carmalize in our studio. They started out by talking about their second album.
I think that really we sort of made our sound a little bit more compact. We had two guitars when we were writing, two guitarists, Chapeline and Sandra, and it's more of a straightforward rock album in a certain sense. There's still some of our usual genre mixing, but it's a little bit more compact in the rock sense, a little more angry, as Chapeline was saying, but also some of our trademark humor as well.
Like fish taco.
You know, folks, I'm really interested in asking you about what it's like to be from California and going out to New York, and how receptive the music community has been in New York to the music. And someone just made a reference to fish tacos, and I don't think they have a lot of fish tacos out in New York. You know, maybe they do, but
they don't.
Could you talk a little bit about the differences between the two coasts as far as the music and?
Oh yeah, that as far as fish taco goes, that's what the song's about, is not being able to get fish tacos in New York City. It's interesting because we're kind of a bi-coastal band, but everyone in the band has lived in New York and California for extended periods of time. So I think that is kind of a main aspect of the group, as far as where we're coming from, as far as understanding us. And I think there's a really vibrant Latin rock scene in Southern California, and I think there's one coming up in New York City. And our band has kind of been one of the bands that's been making that happen in NYC.
All right. I have a question. This is Jovelyn. Head Full of Brains is Jay and Hillary. That's your label, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean, it's nice to to know the listening audience that you have taken that responsibility. But tell us the pros and cons of that. I mean, you're an artist. You're an artist, right? And now that's a sort of responsible thing to do. How does that work itself out?
I mean, it's not responsible so much as you're just trying to put music that you believe in out there, for people. There's so many great indie labels. There's so many. And it's just people want to get their stuff out there. They want to express themselves and they want to support other artists that they like. And with the, is there just one corporation now that's in charge of all the major label music, It's 3 now. So, I think it's just part of that, and it's just that we want to get our stuff out there, and that's really what it's about. And, the cons is that at this point we've lost money. So that's what the con is. But the pro is just getting it out there.
Cool. Well, not to go over the cons, but just... this is Victoria, I wanted to talk a little bit about what are the challenges about trying to get your music out there as independent artists, and how have you guys been able to jump over those obstacles? Who's going to
We do a lot of leg lifts so that we can jump over those obstacles.
Squat thrusts.
Squat thrusts. And this is Sandra talking. I think that it's just it's just hard work. You just have to decide that you're going to dedicate yourself to getting your music out there. And if that means walking around and, putting your CD on consignment in stores around New York City, then that's what it means. Now, of course, with technology, you can get it online, and there's, iTunes and the Apple Store and all that great stuff, Amazon, TowerRecords.com, and, but it's just a lot of work. There's no way around it.
Yeah. I think also the good thing for us has been, in a genuine way, that when people hear our CD and when people see the band live and hear what the band is about, they recognize that it's different. I mean, I get that all the time where people are saying, like, this is just like, it's not like so far outside that you've never heard it before, but with the combination of cultural influences and sounds, it's just something that usually surprises people. And then, I like to think that we write great songs. You put great songs on top of that, and it's really made a lot of people kind of pay attention to us, which has been really, really nice. A lot of press, getting our video played a lot of different places. It's been really cool.
That's great. And so you guys get to do a lot of gigs in New York and within New York City, or where have you guys been touring recently?
Yeah, I mean, we basically, play in New York City. We try to play a couple times a month, with other bands that are, in the scene with us, or... and then we try to come out to California every 6 months, kind of maintain the fans that we've made out here. When we first started coming out, it's always been great for us to come out to California and, eat some fish tacos and see our friends and family and play some fun shows. And
just to continue along that line and somewhat along Jacob's question earlier, what kind of audience, because I have some friends who are in a Latin alternative band as well, and they talk about trying to get to that Anglo audience. So when you're in New York City, what kind of audience, or in other places other than New York City, do you get a mix? Is it mostly Latino audience that's bicultural and like you, or bicoastal, or do you get a lot of Anglo or European Americans, and what's the reception there?
In New York, New York is just a big mix of people. But, it really depends on the venue and what bands we're playing with. When we played at SOBs, with Hip Hop Judíos, there was a lot of Latinos in the house, that night. But if we're playing at a different club, like the Mercury Lounge, and we're playing with some other bands that don't really cater to the audience, then, it might be mostly an Anglo crowd. But it really just depends, and I feel like we've reached, both. That's kind of the benefit of, what we do is, singing in both languages and playing at different clubs with different bands, both just kind of straight up rock, American bands and bands that sing in Spanish as well. So, we've been able to reach out to both.
Okay. And
I'm gonna jump in right here. I'm kind of curious about excuse me. I'm kind of curious about the music festival that y'all are headed to in Los Angeles, because the reality is I didn't even know there was a Latin alternative music conference. So maybe y'all could speak on that, and just for the listeners who might not know, what's that all about?
This is a conference that's been going on now for 4 years. It might be the 5th year. I can't remember which. But it started, the first year was back in New York City for 2 or 3 years, and then they moved it out to Los Angeles last year. And what it is essentially is a chance for Latin alternative bands that are playing rock en español and any kind of variation on that theme to just kind of get together, meet people from the industry, play, do showcases, have panels, talk about how to promote the music, how to kind of create a unified scene out there. And it's a great kind of cross-cultural exchange that you have, because you have a lot of bands from the States, you have a lot of bands from South America and Mexico who now live in Los Angeles or live in Miami, and they're playing a lot here. So everyone's kind of cross-pollinating when they go to LA and meet out there. And we're just really, really fortunate because they only have maybe about 20 bands play, and almost all of those bands are signed to pretty big labels. So we're really psyched. Like, we're one of 2 or 3 bands that is just totally independent, doing our own thing, and we're hoping to get a little bit of attention for that.
And just to follow that up, you said that most of the groups performing at this conference are signed, and I'm just wondering, I mean, you folks must know, is there a huge pool of bands, like rock en español bands or different kind of genres, that are not signed, that are just kind of beneath the surface, just waiting to blow up? Or, how big is the scene that you're involved with?
Well, how many Latinos are there in the United States? They're all forming bands. It's tough to say, because you get groups where, like, I'm trying to think of what some of the big bands are that, like, you have Latino guys who are frontmen for like these giant like hard rock metal bands, and that's not rock en español, but it's a Latino guy fronting a band. It's pretty cool. But really what it is like a whole generation of kids who are coming up in the U.S. I'm like myself, I'm second generation. Actually, I'm third generation. Sandra's second generation. And so you grow up with English and Spanish. You grow up with Metallica records and ranchera records. And that synthesis, when you put it all together and really think about your culture and what you can bring to the table that's new and fresh, that's just going to keep coming up more and more. So whether it's going to blow up huge and be like some, I don't think it's ever going to be a Britney Spears thing, but I think it's going to get a lot more attention over the next 5-10 years.
Yeah. So are you in agreement with Nick Harcourt, who says it's the sleeping giant, like Latin alternative?
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, he's probably right. And if he plays a lot more of it on the best radio show,
he could wake it up. Is it Nick Harcourt last year at the conference that made the Motown analogy?
I don't think I was there. But
I think he did say that,
yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting, sort of comparing that, just the sleeping giant waiting to happen, waiting for just, some entrepreneur like Berry Gordy to take it on and put it out there.
Package it for mainstream America.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the fact that there have been criticism that the Latin Alternative Music Conference is too corporate and not alternative enough?
Well, I mean,
that's a hot question.
Alternative never stays alternative for very long.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to look at it that way, because the fact is that the major label companies control most of the music industry, and they control what's released. And this is a thing that's trying to bring in the best artists, and the best artists at this point are still finding their way to major labels. So these are some bands that are huge, huge stars in Latin America, and in America they're just kind of being slept on. So whether they're signed to a major or not doesn't really make a difference. It's like these are great bands making fantastic music. Are you going to tell me you're not going to listen to a Café Tacuba record or a Terciopelados because they're on a major label? That's crazy, So of course they're going to bring in these bands who are kind of like the finest, most shining examples of the music and let them do their stuff. But they're also going to have small bands like us in, and that's really important too, that they're opening the door at least a little bit to bring some people in and put the spotlight on some bands who are coming up.
Let's bring back let's talk a little bit more about your new album. What about this new album, We Can Take 'Em Down, that's your favorite thing about it, or has you the most excited about it? Hillary?
Ooh.
Jay?
That's a good one.
Yeah, like what you know.
It's a tough question.
What about this album
I
turns
mean,
you on?
I love recording, and it, you know, that's like, what's your favorite song on the album? I don't know. I like recording. I like making music, and you know, when you have 12 songs that you've just worked really hard on, it's hard to choose one aspect. But
anybody else?
I don't know. I think it's just exciting for us to have it done, and you know, we've been playing some of these songs for a while now, so they're not really new to us. You know, like Fish Taco, we've been playing for a while, it seems like, but you know, it wasn't on our first record, and it's exciting to actually have it recorded, and you know, where we're sounding our best, and you know, have the opportunity to give it to somebody to take home with them. You know, and you know, I also feel like, you know, there's more songs on this record, and there's a lot of great songs on there, and you know, we're just excited to now kind of pass it out, you know, onto the world, you know.
Yeah, and it's cool also because there's some songs that came together literally in the studio. There was ideas for them, but they weren't finished, and so right now there's a song called Poison on the record, and we literally have never played that song.
That's true.
In its current incarnation as a band. So it's pretty awesome. I was listening to it today, and I was just like, I gotta play this song because it's a really great song, and I can't wait.
I can't wait to learn it.
I can't wait to learn how to play it. It's really cool.
Thank you guys so much for coming down
Thank you.
and
Thanks for having us.
and sharing.
Quiero decirte una cosa. I hope that you will understand. There is one thing que hace falta in esta great big urban land. Don't get me wrong, I love the city, la ciudad de Nueva York, but I don't get how in a place that claims to have it all, I can't seem to find a fish taco. But I don't get how in a place that claims to have it all, I can't seem to find a fish taco. Solo me falta un taco de pescado con una salsita y aguacate al lado. It's the sad reality, es que no están aquí, entonces me pongo a pensar, where's the perfect place to be, where I can live happily, o tal vez no sé del lugar. When I go home to San Diego, near where the fish taco was born, as soon as I get off the airplane, I go running back for more and more. There are no words that can describe it. Without fish tacos I'll die. And even though I cry when my mama whisks by, it's really that I miss the fish taco. And even though I cry when my mama whisks by, it's really that I miss the fish taco. Solo me falta un taco de pescado con una salsita y aguacate al lado. That's the sad reality, es que no están aquí, entonces me pongo a pensar, where's the perfect place to be, where I can live happily, o tal vez no quise del lugar. Taco, pescado, taco, pescado.
For more information about Carmalize, go to www.headfulofbrains.com.
This is The Full Circle on 94.1 KPFA 88.1 in the Central Valley. I'm William, here with Rain. We've enjoyed bringing you encore performances by Omaya and Carmalize. Just before we get out of here, one quick announcement. Critical Resistance is calling for an emergency action to protest Mayor Jerry Brown's implementation of a 10 p.m. curfew for prison parolees and those on probation. The protest will be held on Wednesday, January 26th at 9:30 p.m. at 27th Street and Telegraph Avenue in Oakland, the residence of Mayor Jerry Brown. For more information, call Critical Resistance, area code 510-444-0484.
Yo, William, that's messed up.
It really is, so folks, get info on that.
Full Circle is produced by current and graduate members of the First Voice Apprenticeship Program. Special thanks to Adalia Selkat for board opping. Our technical director is Mickey Mays. Segment producer is me, Ranjita G. And senior producer is Kristen Zimmerman.
Props.
Shout-outs to Esther Mania, Amelia Prather-Naiman, and Lawton Chan for production assistance and contributions.
Brother Tandre produced our outro music. Advisors are Rita Johnson and Amelia Gonzalez.
Whoop, whoop.
If you have any questions or topics for future shows, write us at KPFA. Attention Full Circle. 1929 Martin Luther King Jr. Way in Berkeley, California, 94704. Our email address is fullcircle@kpfa.org.
Stay tuned for La Onda Bajita.
Peace.
KBFA Free Speech Radio and Pache Bene present Sister Helen Perjean, author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Dead Man Walking, with her new book, The Death of Innocence, an eyewitness account of wrongful executions, with an introduction by Larry Bensky. The event is on Sunday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. at King Middle School, 1781 Rose Street, North Berkeley. The event is wheelchair accessible. Tickets are $10 in advance, $12 at the door, being sold at local independent bookstores. For more information, go online to www.kpfa.org or call 510-848-6767, extension 609.
The Berkeley Repertory Theater presents Bridge and Tunnel, the newest solo performance by Sarah Jones. Jones, the Obie Award-winning creator of Surface Transit, which Berkeley Rep presented in a sold-out extended run in 2003, returns to Berkeley Rep to workshop Bridge and Tunnel in anticipation of its opening on Broadway. In Bridge and Tunnel, Jones portrays 14 different characters in pursuit of the American dream. You'll be invited to provide important feedback to support the development of Bridge and Tunnel, which is expected to evolve nightly. There will only be 20 performances beginning January 20th at Berkeley Rep. Tickets are discounted to $30 and $40. To order, call 510-647-2949 or visit berkeleyrep.org. Once again, 510-647-2949 and berkeleyrep.org.
KPFA Free Speech Radio and Pacific Environment present an evening with David Suzuki, Canada's preeminent science broadcaster and globally respected environmental and civil rights activist, scientist, and lecturer. The Economy or the Environment of False Dichotomy, Friday, January 28th, 8 p.m. at the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts Theater, 700 Howard Street, San Francisco. Tickets are $15 general, $12 students and seniors, and are available at 415-978-2787 or www.ybca.org. For more information, www.kpfa.org.
This is KPFA, KPFB in Berkeley, or KFCF in Fresno. La Onda will be starting in 4 minutos.
Didn't
but you know that I'm your own. Stand by. You know that you can call on me. I know the vibe so well that you can hardly tell when she's left you in
This is KPFA, KPFB in Berkeley, or KFCF in Fresno. Stay tuned for La Onda Bajita.
Back again, live on the air. It's Friday night, Simón Que Yes, coming at you aquí, cruising